Well, I was invited to do a project for Play, and I came to visit Kortrijk. And two things really struck me. I went to the Texture Museum, and I discovered Kortrijk's role in flax production. And so immediately I was thinking about some project using textiles in some way. And then I spent some time wandering around the city. And the day I was here, there was the market in the main square, and I was so taken with the energy of the market. You know, I'm from New York, a giant city, and you come here, and actually during the time of the market, it has that same kind of intensity of energy, and I love that. I guess it made me feel at home in a way. So I immediately understood I wanted to do something in the main square, and I wanted to do something that allowed people to have a physical engagement with the work. All of my work has to do with the viewer and the object in interaction with each other. So as I was thinking about textiles and the role of textiles in private life and how to bring that private life into a public zone, of course, the bed became this nexus of almost like a cliche of private life. So you have, sexual activity on beds. You have secrets. You have the kind of literally the fabric of a household gets cemented inside of this very private environment inside of a bed. And I wanted to take that intense privacy and throw it out into the public, and then have people interact with it in a very unprecious way and in a way that undermines the ceremonial qualities of the bed. So that's how the project really began, and then I was really taken by the scale of Kortrijk in general, but especially of the square here, because it's at once kind of grand and then very human scale, and I wanted to capture that as well in my project. So I take a kind of archetypal bed and blow it up to a scale that is in conversation with the belfry and the buildings and the Hôtel de Ville and all of the pedestrians who are here, and then give the opportunity for people to interact with the sculpture by then taking off their shoes and jumping on this giant bed. When it came time to figure out the actual design of the bed, I didn't want it to come from any exterior place. I wanted it to grow kind of organically out of this place. And so through the Texture Museum, we put out a call for people to... That's the soundtrack of my piece, so it's exciting. So yeah, I wanted the kind of design of the bed, or the physical reality of the bed, to come out of the people of Kortrijk. So through the Texture Museum, we put out a call for people to bring fabrics there, and then I took these fabrics and created a pattern, a patchwork pattern. And then that patchwork pattern was woven into a new fabric, a kind of new portrait of an existing place. And then that pattern was printed on top of the surface of the bed, which is actually a kind of a trampoline or jumping pillow. So that it's a kind of transformation of what you could call the original pieces of the city into something that's a new kind of original that's then given back to the city. And then as people jump on it, it takes on its own new reality. That's the whole piece.